I'll start this video by saying that you do not need anyone's permission to become the version of yourself that you've always known existed. That's right, the version you've always known existed. I'm not going to call this version a better version of you because that idea completely discredits the necessary process of becoming that we all need in order to step into all that we can be. It's not a better version. It's a version that's always been there. There's a version of you buried deep down within that has been screaming to come out. It's been screaming to appear. It's been screaming to show forth. You feel it. You know you're ready for change. You're ready for something new. You're ready to increase in all areas of your life. And guess what? It's ready for you too. And the only person that's standing in the way of you tapping into that version of yourself that's always been there is you. Hey there, everyone, and welcome to the Monday Start Club. In this club, we don't procrastinate or put things off till Monday. No. In the Monday Start Club, every day is Monday. And I know that you are ready to revolutionize your life, so subscribe now to join the club. There are two kinds of people in this world. The first is the person that intentionally waits for their gas tank to get on E before filling it up. The second is the one that always keeps their gas tank on full because they need that sense of knowing. They need that reassurance. And I guess we can add a subcategory, the people who drive on E because they want to test the limits, because their curiosity makes them wonder how far they can drive on E until their car stops running. Now, I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but if you've ever driven when your tank is on E or close to E, you can attest to the internal rush and adrenaline that runs through your body. To some, it can be a mixture of anxiety and excitement. To others, it can feel like a game you play in your mind, like, I'm gonna drive past this gas station that is right next to me and see if this gas in my tank can take me to the gas station that is a whole other mile away. But here's the thing. We all, at one point or another, get to this place where life gives us indicators that it is time for a change. And for some of you, that indicator might be the start or the end of a new relationship. That indicator could be a job situation, it could be your finances, children, weight, or the indicator could just be you being tired of being sick and tired. Regardless of what it is, life will blink and beep very loudly at you because you are running on E. And it's trying to tell you that it is time to fill up. It's time to fill up on your desire, on your drive, on your willpower. It's time to fill up on goals. It's time to fill up on motivation. And so you're gonna have things come up in your life that might shake you up a little bit. It might rock you off your boat a little bit, but those things are indicators. They are indicators that it's time for change. And I know that you have come to that place where you just feel like something needs to be different about my life. You just feel that this is not the life that you're meant to live. It's not the life that you're meant to have. It's not the life that you want. You want it to change. You're at that place where the indicators have been blinking, they've been flashing, and it's glaring in your face. And so today we're going to be talking about ways to reinvent yourself and change your life. Because you can change your life. You have the power to change your life. You have the ability to turn things around. The power is within you. So if you recognize that things need to be different in your life, it is time to make those changes. Let's get right into the video. Number one, decide who you want to be. When we discover that things in our lives need to change, what tends to happen is that we go out and buy a notebook or journal, or maybe use the notes app in our phones. We sit in a quiet place with coffee or tea, whatever floats your boat. And then we start to make a list of all the things that need to change in our lives. Now, making that list is not a bad idea, but it is not where to start. Before anything else, the first thing that needs to happen is to decide who you want to be. Or better yet, decide on the version of yourself that you want to appear. Which version do you want to take the lead of your life? The great thing about making this decision is that you don't have to wait to make the change at the start of a new year or a new month. You can decide right now and start taking steps towards it today. See, right now, there's one version of yourself that's taking the lead in your life. This version of yourself does not have the capacity to fulfill the demands in this list that you're creating because this version of yourself is used to a particular way of being. It is used to a language. This version of yourself is a version of you that believes that you don't have what it takes, that your idea is dumb or that it's not going to work. This version of yourself has been fed so many lies that it can hardly distinguish between falsehood and truth. So if you start your path to reinvention with a list, all you're doing is giving a job description to someone that may be unqualified. You're giving a job description to this version of yourself that does not have what it takes to accomplish the things that are on the list. So you first need to see who you want to be. You need to see the other version of yourself that is already within you, but that needs to appear. There's a version of yourself that has the capacity to fulfill things, but that version of yourself is hidden within you. There's another version of yourself that is forward-facing. And so you just need to give the version of yourself that's already in you permission to appear. So what you're going to do is close your eyes and search deep within yourself to knock on the door of the person you're looking for inside you. The goal here is not to let your reality limit the expansiveness of who this other version is. In other words, you can dream without boundaries. You can see with depth. You're going to close your eyes and meet someone you didn't even know was there. This person exists, but you haven't met that person yet. So you're going to close your eyes and meet someone that will awaken something in you. When you close your eyes, what do you see? Who do you see? Who is this person? And when you meet this person, write down what you see. What are their traits? What kind of clothes do they have on? How is their hair done? Do they have a car? What kind of car is it? Are they around family? Are they a family person? What kind of house are they in? Do they have a house? Who do you see within you? Which version of yourself are you seeing? Which version of yourself is peeking through? And remember, do not limit the expansiveness of what you see. See as wide and as far as you want to see. Now write that down. After you discover this person, then you make a list. Because what you see becomes what you see. Now you have this mental frame of reference of the person that's within you, the version of yourself that is awakening. It directly affects what you physically see around you. Without that mental frame of reference, you wouldn't be able to tap into something greater. You're only going to be confined with the things that you see around you now. So for example, the version you see of yourself owns an apartment complex, but your reality is a 540 credit score. If you had not met the version of yourself that's within you, that 540 credit score will probably send you into spirals of depression or angst. But now, that 540 credit score looks like the seed of your future. You now look at that score and you're automatically filled with a sense of urgency to get things fixed, to get things done, to talk to who you have to talk to pay what you have to pay. Because you have now been introduced to the version of yourself that's always been there. You have now been introduced to the version of yourself that can use that 540 credit score that's going to be changed and turn it into something greater. You have now been introduced to a version of yourself that is not comfortable with where you are. And now that you've met this version of yourself, it's game time. Number 2, make that list. After listening to point 1, I bet your list is starting to look a lot different now. By this point, you should already have a running list of the traits of the other version of yourself that you met. And that will be the foundation for the list we will be creating of what needs to change. So how do we make this list? First, I want you to draw a straight line in the center of a page so you can have 2 columns. On the right side, put the title, Who I See. And on the left side, put the title as How I Get There. The reason why you're going to put Who I See on the right side is because the right is symbolic of the future and the left is symbolic of our past. And so making the list in that position subconsciously lets your brain know that what you're reading on the right is referencing where you're going and not something of the past. And it also lets your brain know that what you're reading on the left is something of your past and something you're working to come out of, or something you have come out of. So in the right column where it says who I see, write the list of everything you saw in the other version of yourself that you met. The traits that you saw, just put that in the right column. And then in the left column, write a list of everything you need to do now to step into that version of yourself. So for example, if you saw a fit version of yourself, in the right column, you write down, I am fit. And in the left column, you write down, change diet, work out 3 times, take a walk. Just whatever you feel you need to do to get to the point of what is in the right column. And I'll do this for every trait that you saw or every trait that you see. Then on another page, take each item that is on the left column and break it down into 7 actionable steps. So for example, you take the goal of change diet and then write down 7 actionable steps you need to do to make that a reality. At this point, you should have a lot more clarity on where you're going and what you need to do to get there. In my next video, I will be sharing with you a step-by-step guide on how to set goals and actually accomplish them. Maybe by the time you come across this video, it would have already been posted. So please hang around on this channel, look through the videos so you can watch it. Now on to the next point of how you can reinvent yourself and change your life. Number 3, confront your weaknesses. Yes, I said it. I know it doesn't sound like the prettiest thing to hear, but it is the thing that needs to happen for your reinvention to be complete. In the reinvention process, you might hear things like you need motivation or you need to buy the right kind of clothes to look the part, and I will speak more on that in the next point. But one thing you absolutely cannot skip in your reinvention process is confronting your weaknesses. You cannot move into your other version of yourself with the same negative habits and traits and expect things to be different. There's a saying that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. If it didn't work before, what makes you think that it's going to work differently this time? If you bake a cake without the right amount of baking powder or baking soda and the cake doesn't rise, will you keep using the same amount of baking powder or soda the next time you bake that same exact cake? Or will you adjust the amount? Confronting your weakness is not an invitation to be reminded of the things that are wrong with you, but it is an invitation to mastery. It is an invitation to be the bricklayer of your life, to be able to look at your life and confidently say that, maybe doing things this way is probably not the best idea, but I now have an opportunity to change things. It is an invitation to better. And if you really want to take things up a notch, maybe ask someone that you really trust which 3 things in your life could change. Don't be defensive when they respond back to you, but take in what they say with grace and humility. And sometimes we may not be able to see what things we are doing wrong because we are right in the middle of it. But someone on the outside can see what we do not see, and they are in a better position to let us know when things need to change. So stick around this channel and learn some more practical things that you can do to confront your weaknesses. And for the very last thing that you need to do to reinvent yourself and change your life, you need to live what you see. You've done the work. You've closed your eyes and you've spent time with yourself enough to know which version of yourself you want to see. You've made the ultimate reinvention list. You are now very much comfortable with confronting your weaknesses. It is time to live out what you see. Everything you wrote on the right column of your list, put it to work. Don't just have it be on a piece of paper collecting dust, but now let it move from your head to your heart and eventually into your hands. In other words, you now have to have a firm conviction about everything on your list. They are not just words, they are alive because you are alive. That firm conviction in your heart will push you to take steps even on the days when you don't feel like it. At that point, you will know that the words you wrote have moved from your head to your heart and now they're in your hands. The significance of your conviction moving from your heart to your hands is that it begins the rewiring process of your brain. As you get up every day and take 1, 2, or 3 steps towards the other version of yourself that you saw, your brain starts to register that you have shifted into a new paradigm, a new mindset. In the beginning, there will be a bit of a battle between the two versions of yourself because your brain hasn't fully comprehended that the old version of you has been served an eviction notice. There will be a slight tug of war, but the more you live out what's on your list, your brain will register that there's a new version, and that version is here to stay. All right, guys, that's it for today's video, how you can reinvent yourself and change your life. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and also check out the link in my description for helpful tools that you can use. Again, this is the Monday Start Club, where every day is Monday. I will see you in the next video.